Hey there guys, got quite a few questions on how did we come out to live in Eua, or how did we, and why, how, and how did we become living off grid, why did we come to Eua, Tonga. As anyone that follows my channel, you probably know that my wife is Tongan, Cook Island, and I am half caste Tongan. So my dad's Tongan, my mum's Aussie. So, and the reason why, well, there's a long story behind it, and it's over time that the reason why we came here. But there was the one point, 2 points that pretty much nailed it and made the decision for us. And so I'll give you a bit of a history on myself. With myself, I grew up here from when I was 10 till I was 18 here in Eua. So my dad and mum came over with us kids, and we went to the main island, stayed there for a year. And I went to the Beulah school, the 7-day Adventist school there for a year. Then we came here to Eua after that because we couldn't sort of find a living over there. And then we decided, you know what, we'll come to Eua. Well, my mum and dad decided that. And then we lived here for 8 years. And I loved it. I loved growing up here. I loved living here. I loved growing up here. Loved the people that were here. It was a hard life. 100% it was a hard life, but I loved it. I loved going to the bush. I loved going to the sea. Yes, I loved every single moment of it. Loved getting to know some friends that I grew up with, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it. So every time when I went to overseas, I was driven to be able to make something of myself. And my grandfather basically said, "Oh, don't forget us." And I said, "Yeah, I won't. One day I'll be back." But you know, once I got over to Australia, that was forgotten for a while, and I was busy trying to get a career over there. And then not only that, I sort of had a party life over there as well, so I was partying quite a bit. But we moved to New Zealand. So when I was 18, went over to stay with my Uncle Inoke. He stays in Adelaide at the moment, right now. But yeah, stayed over in New Zealand with my uncle. He got me a job at a factory. The factory's name was Top Hat. It's got a different name now. And yeah, I sort of learned a lot of skills from that job. And not only that, I met my wife there as well. Well, going back, I got married here when I was 18. Went over there. Marriage failed after 2 years. So then, after I got divorced, I ended up meeting my wife, Nooroa, at the job. And we eventually got married in 2003. 2003 we got married. Yeah, and in 2005 we made the move to go to Australia. So we went to Australia to find a better life. We went over there, and we got a better life, 100%. We moved to Sydney in 2005, but we left Sydney in, I'd say 2012. Went to Brisbane, 2012. We'd already bought a house over in Sydney. Moved to Brisbane 2012. Moved in with my friend Tonga. He moved up to Brisbane as well, and then he asked me, you know, come over. It's a better life here, a little bit slower. So we moved up, and it was a way better life over in Brisbane. I liked the area, the people, and everything was a little bit slower over there than Sydney. Then we sold the house down in Sydney, and then that was one of the decision factors of going back to Eua. But what we did first, we went for a holiday. Came over here for a holiday with the wifey, and that's when everything changed. She came down. We brought our parents as well, brought mum and dad, and we drove down this road. Dad said, "Oh, this is the property over here." And my eyes, I was really happy, seeing this land. But my wife, seeing this land, she was quite overwhelmed. But it wasn't until she went down to the beach, just down here at Ha'aluma. We were secluded. We were the only ones on the beach, and she loved it. So when we came back, she was like, let's move to Tonga. So that was the decision factor, because your wife has to be happy with that kind of move. You can't do that move by yourself, make that call and go, let's go, without the wife going, yep, okay, let's do it. Because otherwise, if it doesn't work, it's all on you, right? But no, you're a team to make that decision together. And yeah, so that's why we made that move. And when we came over here, right, I had a four-wheel drive set up with a camper on top. I had couple of tents to tent out. And yeah, that's how we started building. We bought quite a few stuff. Just plopped it down on this lawn, or not lawn, just in the bush here. And we set up our truck. Luckily we had a few batteries and a couple of solar panels to keep everything going. Pretty much just lights, really, for our little truck. And yeah, we just turned the vehicle on to be able to charge everything up during the day for nighttime. But yeah, we started like that. We started very humble, just camped out here, and that's how we started. But I would advise, if anyone's going to do something like that, it wasn't the perfect setup. Like, if I had a lot more money, I would bring a lot more money and do things a little bit different. But yeah, that was the reason why we came. Is that holiday, wifey seeing how beautiful everything is, making that call to come over. So that was great. I already wanted to, sort of in the back of my mind, wanted to always come back, but it wasn't really 100%, because until wifey was saying yes, let's do it, and then I was all in, 100% all in. So that's when my planning started. From there we went back on a 40-footer, a 20-footer, 2 vehicles, crammed everything in and sent them over, and then we flew over. And also I bought a tractor and the solar system and the tin for the roof over in China, and sent that over as well. Bought that over in Alibaba. So yeah, it was a lot of work to get everything here, the logistics, everything, a lot of money. I bought some building materials over in Australia, put that in the container as well. So a lot of tools that I brought with me, a lot of spares for the vehicles that was definitely needed. Yeah, so you always got to think of what if this breaks down, what if all that kind of scenario. So, and I was already planning on to do off-grid, because there was no power coming here, no water, and there still isn't. No water is plumbed to this property, and if I had to plumb power or plumb water or bring power here, it would cost me a fortune, because it comes from the last town, and that's a long way away. So yeah, I don't have the means. It would have cost way more than my solar panels and my solar system, way more. So, boy, stop licking me, man. Anyway, so that's the reason why we went off-grid. I looked right into that, and I was like, you know what, let's do it. And I like the way I like the thought of being off-grid. The thought is there, love it, but to be honest, I should have bought a better system with lithium batteries to be able to have a little bit of a bigger battery bank, so when everything charges, I'm able to run kettles, hot water system, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, my batteries are pretty much going out now, dying out. They're not lead acid, they're gel batteries, AGM gel batteries. They're Australian made, but they're for some reason the Chinese ones were better than these ones. For some reason, I don't know why. Seems like one battery is dying off, and then it's moving on to the next battery, and so forth. So it's yeah, something's going wrong there, but it's not my wiring or anything like that. It's just those batteries. So lithium is the next choice to go lithium. I've got enough panels up there. I've got 18 panels up there to run this house, to run everything, to be able to get enough power into batteries to be able to run what do you call it, a kettle and all that kind of stuff. So it's just the batteries now that I need to get. But yeah, then I'll put 2 tanks in. Got a pump for the water system. Put that in. But everything was done over time and bit by bit, and pretty much done all the wiring done by myself, all the plumbing done by myself, a lot of the roof done by myself. I had to swap the whole roof out. I did that all by myself. Just the laying the bricks, I had help. So the foundation and laying the bricks, I had help there. But otherwise, everything else is veranda, all of that, all done by myself. I had a couple of kids to help me out, basically, to do the concreting. But other than that, anything to do with timber or electrical, I pretty much do myself, or plumbing. The only reason why I get help for concreting is because sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. If I can get the help, I will, and if I can afford it. But if I can't afford it, I got to do it on my own, right? So, and the only reason is because it's a lot of work mixing the concrete. If there was a concrete truck coming in, no problem, I'll do it on my own. But yeah. Other than that, that's the whole reason why we came over, is because keep the wife happy. But yeah, we're happy now, and where everything turned out. There's a lot more work for us to do. I've got to put a cover over the containers, grind off all the rust, because there's already a hole in the 40-footer. Yeah, that kind of stuff, but everything costs money, so we can't afford it. I can't afford to finish off the house, but bit by bit, slowly we'll get there. And over time, with all the plans that we have in the future, we'll definitely get there in the future. But it's just gonna be it's gonna take a fair while, a couple of years before everything gets finished, and hopefully nothing rusts out or like that, something like that, before we even get to it, like the containers. Sorry, my dog's bumping the camera, so that's the reason why it shakes a little bit. But yeah, I'm very happy how everything's turned out. One thing I would do differently is put screens on everything. Screen doors, screens on the windows, everything like that. Haven't finished the roof, but once the roof is all finished, then we'll seal everything with silicone. Make sure everything's sealed. No creepy crawlers can come in the house. That kind of stuff. Yeah, so that's one other thing, is to sort of like you need to spray your whole house every 6 months to be able to get rid of the centipedes, cockroaches, anything like that. Same with overseas, like they just maintain the house with some sprays, insect sprays. But yeah, if you do that, you'll be all good. I sold one of my 4-wheel drives, got that out of the way. I had to finance something, so I only got the one 4-wheel drive now. So I've got to baby this 4-wheel drive until we're able to afford another vehicle. And not only that, or do this up. I really want to do this 4-wheel drive up in bigger tires, 35s instead of 33s. Yeah, 35s instead of 33s. I got 33s on there. Get bigger tires. What else should I do? I've got to take that roof rack off, get rid of all the rust, grind it all off, panel beat the whole vehicle. Engine's pretty good. Got to get a new ride-on if we can in the future. Just my ride-on's broken down, and that's not fixable right now. So I need to get a new ride-on. There's a lot of things that needs to be done. If I could do veranda right around the whole house, I would. Gotta get a carport out for the vehicle, because at the moment it's just in the weather and it's just rusting even faster. So once that gets panel beat and whatnot, definitely gotta get a carport done. So I gotta get some tins and timber poles, metal poles, put a carport in out there for it. Yeah, so there's a lot to be done, and it was a lot to do before we could actually get to this stage. We've grown a lot of crops, tried a lot of things, failed in certain things, and some things we haven't failed, and we've succeeded in a lot of things as well. So, yeah. Alright guys, so that's a bit of our story, where we grew up, how everything happened, and yeah. Well, first of all, I was born in Adelaide, so I'm not like, I was born in Adelaide. We stayed there for 10 years. Well, I did anyway, because I was born, until we came to Tonga. But yeah, it was hard. To be honest, as a 10-year-old kid, changing your diet with food. I didn't like the Tongan food when I first got here as a kid, because I was used to your breads, toast, butter, all your spreads for the morning, and cereals. Used to all your cereals. Used to, those kind of foods for kids. But when I got here, I had to change my diet real quick. But I got to get to like a lot of things, and I love the Tongan food nowadays. So, and that's all I'd rather eat. I'd rather eat the Tongan food than anything else. Like, mate, spit pig is my #1 thing to go to. If I can have a spit pig every day, I would. Yam, sweet potato, manioke, cassava, taro, love it. So yeah, alright guys, love you and leave yous here. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and there's a few questions that I've answered from your questions that you've asked. There's about 3 or 4 people that was asking how and why we came to Tonga, and those were the reasons. Alright guys, God bless you all. Bye for now.